pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. All right, we do have just one minor change to the agenda. Right now, we're scheduled to have an executive session at the end of the meeting, but we're going to need to move it up after the public hearings and before our first review.
Okay.
All right, and so, but at that time, we'll deal with that. So, all right, so starting with our agenda, our next meetings are going to be Tuesday, October 11th. We'll go back to our Tuesday schedule, and then Wednesday, November 9th. That's because Tuesday, the 8th, is Election Day, and so once again, Town Hall will be used, so we have to adjust our schedule. We do have one set of minutes to approve, the minutes from the meeting of August 9th. Do I have a motion to approve those as amended?
So moved. Abstain, I wasn't here.
I'm actually going to abstain too.
Okay, so we're going to hold off until
Some-
hopefully Jim gets here, and we'll try to do them at that point. That's fine, okay. So, all right, so just so everybody here understands how the meeting runs, the first part of our meeting is public hearings, and that's where the board's already had an opportunity to look at certain applications, and now we send them out, we send out notices and give you as neighbors an opportunity to come in and, let us know of any concerns, or if you, have no problem with the applications that we're looking at. So those are the first three applications, or the first three appeals that we'll hear, and then after that, we have reviews, and those are either new applications that the board just needs to understand what the applicants are trying to do, or in some cases, they are repeats, because we asked them, the applicants, for some additional information. So with that being said, we're going to start with item number 1. You know what? I can't see tonight. All right, so Appeal 3797, John Barber, 148 Martin Road, Hopewell Junction, is requesting a 13-foot sideline variance for a proposed 10-foot by 24-foot sheds pursuant to Section 194-107B2 of the zoning ordinance. Do I have a motion to open the public hearing?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Good evening.
Good evening.
All right, so we had an opportunity to look at your application last month. This is sorry, I gotta get her, okay, so you gave us a survey. The shed is not there now. Explain to us again why you need the variance? What's in the backyard that you can't move it in?
Several things. Wetlands, 100-year flood zone,
Okay, that's-
septic exiting the back of the house, septic fields. Pretty much it.
Okay, and the topography of the lot? Is,
It's very flat.
it's very flat?
There's no issues there.
All right. So there's a wood deck. You're then proposing that it be approximately 50 feet back from there. And so
No.
it's tucked into off to the side there?
Well, if you look at that line, it's actually pulled off the back right corner of the house, not the deck.
Oh, that's from the house,
Yeah,
okay.
there's a leader off the
Okay.
dimension line.
And so your septic fields are immediately behind the deck?
Well, actually, if you were looking at it from the road, it's just to the left of the deck, and it comes straight out the back.
Okay.
Yeah,
So that kind of explains why it can't be more in the middle of the property.
correct.
Okay. And is there screening around this? Is it visible to your neighbor?
Yeah, no, I'm sorry, it's not visible to the neighbor. There are very tall pine trees, and then there's a secondary row of trees, so basically the neighbor has a very tall set of trees, I have a shorter set of trees
Okay.
that start basically from directly across from the house and extend back beyond the shed.
Okay, comments or questions from board members?
I'm fine.
Is there anyone who wishes to speak for or against the application from John Barber, 148 Martin Road, Hopewell Junction, requesting a 13-foot sideline variance for a proposed 10-foot by 24-foot shed? Seeing none, do I have a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And
This is appeal number 3797, applicant John Barber, for a 13-foot sideline variance for proposed 10-foot by 24-foot shed pursuant to Section 194-107B2 of the zoning ordinance, located at 148 Martin Road, Hopewell Junction. Resolution offered by zoning board member Barbara Barosa. Whereas the applicant has applied for a 13-foot sideline variance for a proposed 10-foot by 24-foot shed pursuant to Section 194-107B2 of the zoning ordinance, and whereas this action is a Type 2 action under seeker and no further action is required, and whereas the legal notice was published in the Southern Dutchess News on August 31st, 2016, and whereas the Zoning Board of Appeals held a public hearing on September 12th, 2016, and whereas the Zoning Board of Appeals finds that the granting of the variance will not produce an undesirable change in the character of the neighborhood or be a detriment to the community, the desired result cannot be achieved by some other means, as the applicant needs to keep the shed out of the wetlands and away from his septic area. The variance requested is not substantial. The proposed area variance will not have an adverse effect or impact on the physical or environmental conditions in the neighborhood, as there are tall pine trees located on the property line closest to the shed, which will screen the shed. Now therefore be it resolved that the Zoning Board of Appeals hereby approves the request by John Barber for a 13-foot sideline variance for a proposed 10-foot by 24-foot shed pursuant to Section 194-107B of the zoning ordinance. Be it further resolved that within 5 business days of the adoption of this resolution, the chair or other duly authorized member of the zoning board shall cause a copy of the resolution to be filed with the town clerk and a copy sent to the applicant owner.
is there a second?
Second.
And votes as follows: Aziz,
Aye.
Barbara,
Aye.
Mary,
Aye.
and myself, aye. So your motion carries, you're all set,
Very good, thank you.
okay?
Have a good evening.
Okay. Item number 2. We have Appeal 3801, Torino Conrad, Jacqueline Torino, and Athena Conrad are requesting a 78-foot sideline variance on the north side and a 45-foot sideline variance on the south side of the property for an existing 40-foot by 60-foot barn at 1818 Old Road, Stormville, pursuant to Section 194-74B of the zoning ordinance. Do I have a motion to open the public hearing?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Good evening.
Hi.
All right, so you took us through this application last month. In this case, you are dealing with the estate of your father, and so this was a barn that he put up, probably to your best guess, in 1980. And there is or was horses on this property. It's an over 2-acre parcel of property, and you own the adjacent 1-acre parcel next door as well, okay? We did talk about, so obviously you can't move it, the barn's still in good shape, the new owners, you're selling the property at this point, the new owners want the barn. We did talk about the fact that you're gonna move a structure that was very close to the other line. Is
Yes.
that moved yet, or you
No, I
still
was
needed
told I
more
had
time?
90
so-
days from today.
Okay.
That was my
That's,
understanding.
yeah, that's what we had talked about, because you recognized you were gonna move it, but you were gonna need a little bit more time. Okay, your dad put this up, obviously, with no permits, and so that's why, at this point, you're trying to just clear this up. So, comments or questions from board members? Again, it's a 40-foot by 60-foot structure, so it's not like you can pick it up and move it.
Right. I believe Mr. Meyer requested pictures last
Yes, did you?
time, and I do have a new survey here
Okay.
with that line drawn, if you guys...
Did the line move?
No,
Okay.
the surveyor did not put the actual exact measurement. I believe some of you
Correct,
were
yeah,
asking for
I'd
that.
also asked for the same measurements,
Yeah,
correct.
so I have
Yeah.
copies.
Sure, come on up.
Correct.
I circled the spot that you
Okay.
were talking about.
Thank you.
I have more.
Yeah, we need the extra copies, yeah.
Would you like to? Sure, thank you.
Yeah, because you got 2 lots, if I remember correctly.
You have two
Yeah.
lots, basically, that you don't want to combine the two lots, but you are
No,
trying.
we're not looking to combine the two lots.
Yeah, because the distances would matter, but again, if you sell it, then the new owners might have some issues with the building being closed. So,
Would you,
No, no,
the one that I have to move? or
Yes.
Yes, well,
Yeah.
I was under the understanding, because he didn't get a permit for that either, and that's, I believe, supposed to be a vacant lot,
Okay,
so it's going to be moved.
okay.
okay. But you could, theoretically sell the second lot to
Yes,
somebody else,
we could,
correct?
absolutely.
Yeah, it's a big structure.
It's, yeah. Okay, so comments or questions from board members?
I'm okay.
Is there anyone who wishes to speak for or against the request from Jacqueline Torino and Athena Conrad requesting a 78-foot sideline variance on the north side and a 45-foot sideline variance on the south side for the property for an existing 40-foot by 60-foot barn at 118 Gold Road, Stormville? Yes,
I'm Marina Aquino, I'm Jackie's neighbor.
okay.
I just need to ask a question about the variance.
Okay.
I understand that if you build a fence, a structure has to be X amount of feet from a fence. If I decide to put a fence along my property line and the structure is now being given a variance, am I going to have a problem getting a permit to put, or a problem putting a fence there?
Okay, there's no requirement
Of-
about structures and a fence.
Oh,
It's
a
only
property-
from your property line, your side yard, your rear yard, your front yard.
so I can put a fence down the property line regardless if her barn is right against it?
Yeah,
Okay,
As long as it's under 4 feet or under. If it's over 4 feet, then it's a different issue.
yeah, no problem with that. Okay.
she just has to deal with her own property line.
Yeah, that's it.
Good.
Then,
Yeah,
so
no.
we're okay with Jackie doing this.
Okay.
Oh, excuse me, did you?
Yes,
put-
sorry. For anybody who wishes to speak, there is a clipboard on there, just so if we could ask you to print your name, just so we have it for the minutes. Anybody else? Seeing none, do I? Oh, sure.
I'm the creature of this thing here, so, how you doing, Norma?
Good, how are you?
My wife mentioned fence. What about a building? Because there is 1 acre zoning over there. Not for us, but in the future, if whoever inherits it from us wants to put another structure in the back over there,
Okay.
how does it all tie into place?
Your variance would be looked at, any variance needed on any other property would be looked at.
Or would I need a variance because of the variance that we're giving?
Nope.
Okay,
Totally based on your individual property. And if anything, the fact that this property is getting a variance would help any application on your property.
you think I know that after 20 years being here, huh?
And
Thanks,
again,
Norma.
as you know that it's basically, each property is a separate parcel, so all the variances is only associated with that particular parcel, and that's it.
Okay,
Right. Each is looked at for the merits on its own.
okay,
Okay?
thank you. I have no problem. You want me to sign in too?
Please. Got to keep us in line here. Anybody else? No? Do I have a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Mary, you wanna-
And?
This is appeal number 3801, Jacqueline Torino and Athena Conrad for a 78-foot sideline variance on the north side and a 45-foot sideline variance on the south side of the property for an existing 40-foot by 60-foot barn pursuant to Section 194-74B of the zoning ordinance located at 118 Gold Road in Stormville. Resolution offered by Zoning Board Member Mary Seminara. Whereas the applicants have applied for a 78-foot sideline variance on the north side and a 45-foot sideline variance on the south side of the property for an existing 40-foot by 60-foot barn pursuant to Section 194-74B of the zoning ordinance, and whereas this is a Type 2 action under seeker and no further action is required, and whereas the legal notice was published in the Southern Dutchess News on August 31st, 2016, and whereas the Zoning Board of Appeals held a public hearing on September 12, 2016, and whereas the Zoning Board of Appeals finds that the granting of the variance will not produce an undesirable change in the character of the neighborhood or be a detriment to the community. The desired result cannot be achieved by some other means, as the barn was built without a building permit in 1980 by the applicant's father, who has since passed away. The variance requested is not substantial. The proposed area variance will not have an adverse effect or impact on the physical or environmental conditions in the neighborhood. Now therefore be it resolved that the zoning Board of Appeals hereby approves a request by Jacqueline Torino and Athena Conrad, who are requesting a 78-foot sideline variance on the north side and a 45-foot sideline variance on the south side of the property for an existing 40-foot by 60-foot barn pursuant to Section 194-107B of the zoning ordinance. Be it for, we have different numbers here. It's 194-74B on first page.
Oh,
So is it 194-74B here too as
okay,
well?
but before you,
Yeah, go ahead.
all right, we need to add in some language that the existing frame stable on the property will be removed with 60 days is,
I don't know if I'll be able to do it in 60 days.
okay.
It's 2 months from now, that would be November. It's possible. It depends on
If
my,
it's not there, out of there by December 1st, your likelihood of being able to get something in there to move it out
no, you're
without
correct.
sinking in
So-
snow or mud or whatever. So how about if we give you till November 30th?
Okay,
Okay, so will be removed no later than November 30th, 2016. Okay?
Okay. Do I need to read that, or is it you?
Yes.
You're, okay. I have it. The existing frame stable will be removed no later than November 30th.
On the existing frame stable on the property.
Okay, the existing frame stable on the property will be removed no later than November 30th, 2016.
Correct.
Be it further
ahead.
resolved that within 5 business days of the adoption of this resolution, the chair or other duly authorized member of the zoning board shall cause a copy of the resolution to be filed with the town clerk and a copy sent to the applicant owner.
Is there a second?
Second.
Votes as follows. Aziz?
Aye.
Barbara?
Aye.
Mary?
Aye.
And myself, aye. So your motion carries. You're all set.
okay, I have one question.
Sure.
What do I need to do as far as town-wise, once the building, the building we're talking about is removed? Do I need to fill out permits? Do I need to take pictures? Do I have to have somebody from the town come out?
You have to go speak to the building department.
Okay,
All right? And
That's what I need to talk
probably
to
have to
them.
file the building permit application for the existing structure, for the barn.
Yes.
okay,
Okay? But go talk to the building department.
okay.
And you don't have to wait for the frame stable to be removed. You can go tomorrow, because this is giving you the 75 days or so to remove that shit.
Right, and that is on the separate 1 acre, it's all the same property.
Understood,
I
but
just want to
it's-
make sure that the
Yes.
language is there.
That's why it shouldn't preclude your ability to start applying for the building permit for the...
For this.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, let's give this to Pam, so she's got the extra language. Thank you. All right, item number 3, Appeal 3802 Conklin, Stephen E. Conklin, 7 Larchmont Drive, Hopewell Junction, is requesting a 4-foot sideline variance for an existing 8-foot by 10-foot shed, which is located in front of the dwelling pursuant to Section 194-107B2 of the zoning ordinance. Do I have a motion to open the public hearing?
So moved.
Second?
All in favor? Aye. All right, good evening.
Good evening.
I did have the opportunity to stop by, because it's right around the corner from me, and to my surprise, the pictures showed the house looking white, and that shed, remember I said it looked like it was yellow?
Oh, yeah, I went by the next day too. It's
And it's
gray.
all gray,
It's all
exactly. It
gray.
was
The
like
shed
shocking to
matches the
see it wasn't, okay, that
Yep,
those
did the
pictures
same.
didn't do it justice. It's a cute little, it's a cute little property. There is a structure over the well. It's a pretty large structure right in their front yard.
like a wishing well? Like the little wishing
Bigger
well?
than that, it's as tall as I am, so it's quite, yes.
It's a wishing well.
It's, well, and so that's what we have to, is it a structure? I mean, we have to, we do have,
I
John,
have
is
a
it?
picture of it here. It's a wishing well. It's not taller than
Yeah, so it's not advertised, is it? It's right there, smack in the, right in the front yard there. It's like 20, not even 20 feet probably from the roadway. So, do you have a picture of it or no?
Yeah. It's a wishing well that covers, I'm sure, their well cap.
Probably.
I don't know.
I don't doubt that that's what it is, but it's actually pretty large, so. Now, on the fence, and clearly, I didn't mind the way it was laid out, the fence that was there with the shed behind it, it kind of blocked it. The shed doesn't look like it's in great shape at all. the roof had mold, or, you know, had
Moss. It
milk
has
moss
moss
growing
on
on it. It looked like the shingles were not in great shape. There was a towel or a rag hanging over that fence. There was clearly some debris on the other side of the fence, because you could see it underneath the bottom of the fence.
Right, it was
So-
a sailboat that has been removed, a small sailboat. Like I said, the
Okay.
house is closing tomorrow, so
Okay.
any rags or things that were in the shed or in the, you know, area are gone now, but
All right, well, like I said, I drove by it tonight. So it was, there was still stuff around, behind the fence, but you can see it under the fence or over the fence. Now, there's also a canvas structure there that's not allowed. So is that canvas structure coming down?
that's not allowed, no, not that I know of. I
No, the
have
town code
idea.
changed, and first off, it would have been a temporary structure, so it would have only been allowed for 6 months, but they're no longer allowed at this point. So, is that coming down?
Not that I know of, I mean, I'm not the homeowner. I'm
Right,
here
right,
representing
understood, but you are the
homeowner.
representative,
So,
so.
yes, so no, as whatever's there is there, nobody ever made reference to it or violation of it.
Well, it doesn't show up on the survey, so,
Well, like I said, they own the house for 51 years, so I have no idea how long these things have been there.
okay. So John, I guess the question is, if we approve the shed, can we impose the condition that the structure, the canvas structure has to be removed, even if we're imposing that on a new owner?
Right, you
Not
can-
on this
You
applicant?
can require that, yes.
Okay, because, I mean, if you're closed, I don't want to hold up your closing, all right, that's the bottom line, but it really doesn't belong there. Now, how do we deal with the well, or whatever that structure is in the front? Do you have if you have a picture of it, Bonnie, can we?
What we can do, once again, is give an approval, subject to that structure being removed.
Well, it's, like I said, it's tall, it's as tall as I am, so it's not little.
I mean, that's removable, so, I mean, or the new owners can come back and ask for a variance.
You see it? Yeah, it's big, and it's
I mean, it's like a tree house or a,
like a playhouse, it could be, but I know it's not. It's
Yeah, I
a
know.
well house, I get
Yeah.
that, but it doesn't belong there, that's the bottom line.
so I guess, I mean,
What
would
you
you,
can do is either have them remove it, or make it subject to them obtaining a decision order from this board allowing it next 60, 90 days. So you could fashion conditions to allow it.
so would you have it preferred that we make a resolution having the well removed?
Mhm.
Or would you rather have a condition that the new owners have to come back in 90 days for a decision on that
On
well
the
structure?
little well cover, no, I'll just have that picked up and carted away.
Okay,
Okay,
that would be
perfect,
preferred.
thank you.
Okay.
So
Can we
then-
have this for the file?
Sure.
Okay, thank you. All right, any other comments or questions from board members?
No, I'm okay.
Is there anyone who wishes to speak for or against the request from Stephen Conklin, 7 Larchmont Drive, Hopewell, requesting a 4-foot sideline variance for an existing 8-foot by 10-foot shed located in front of the building? Yes, come on up. Bonnie, if we could ask you to step away. Good evening.
My name is Don Schilling. I live at 6 Larchmont Drive, and I do not have a problem with the shed.
Okay, thank
You
you.
Don't have a problem with the wishing well either.
You don't have a
It's been there for years. you know.
Okay,
They really, they've always made it a very colonial-looking, cozy home. Yeah,
okay.
I really don't object to any of what they have.
Thank you. We appreciate your coming out and, offering your insights on that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. No, Bonnie, hold on.
Frank Perillo, I live at 8 Larchmont Drive, directly across the street from Stevens. I have no problem with the shed, and as far as the well goes, Steve built that years ago when he took a big willow tree down. That's just built around a stump.
Oh, is that what it
That's
is?
exactly what it is. I have no
Okay.
idea would that be an issue.
Would you prefer that it stay there?
Yeah, it looks fine, it's very, very picturesque. It doesn't bother me at all. I'm looking directly at it all the time.
It just, I mean, again, I'm not disputing that it looks pretty. It's just pretty close to the road, and it's,
Yeah, it's
doesn't
just built
belong
around.
there without a variance.
Just built
so-
around a stump that was there from a big willow tree.
Okay,
Just a little background on it.
okay, thank you. That's-
Thank you.
Thank you, folks. So, is there anyone else? All right, so do I have a motion to close the public hearing?
Okay, I guess the thing is, even though the neighbors have mentioned that this is not a well, wishing well concept that we were thinking of, but it's more a ornamental structure around a
Right.
tree stump, but still it's a structure and the law is very clear.
And how big does the structure have to be in order to
Doesn't
need a
matter.
permit? What do you mean, doesn't
The-
matter?
It's a
Get
structure.
permit, and you can't get a permit for it?
Oh, no, you could, but
Well, that's why I said, how big does it need to be to get a permit for it, rather than
it's not a
just showing
shed,
it?
so it's a,
shed.
it's,
We don't have a dimensional like that.
there's not a minimum dimensional size unless
mean,
it's a
it-
shed,
It could be just a swing set.
right?
So, I mean, the law is very clear, so that's why we have to implement it. And again, if somebody wants to do something like that,
They need a permit,
they need a variance and then a permit.
a variance and a permit to put an
Well,
ornament in
because
your
it's
front
in the
yard.
front of their yard, right?
Okay.
Correct. If it was in the backyard, then,
Yeah, they could
But
take
it's-
this and move it in the back. If they wanted, the new owners wanted to keep it, they can move it back there.
Yeah.
Then they'd have to deal with the stump that's inside of it.
Well, if it was 20 years ago, it might be rotted.
Yeah,
Might
there's
not
probably
be
no
much
stump
left
there
of
at
it.
this point.
So do we want to condition the, I mean, if the neighbors don't object to it, maybe we just ask them to come in and get a variance. We'll give them 90 days.
yeah, but on the other hand, I mean, if it can be, it's a structure that can be picked up and,
Yeah, it was small enough.
yeah, and so again, if you try to put the conditions, I think I'd rather see that removed, and if the new owners want it, because the new owners may have their own ideas of what their front yard is gonna look like. And
Okay.
so,
But if
it
they want it, obviously, their neighbors aren't opposed to it, so they could come in and get a variance.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, you can give them the heads up that two of the neighbors directly across the street were
And
not
next door,
opposed to it.
it's the only two neighbors they have. So, that was nice of them to come,
Yes.
to say positive things instead of negative. I was shocked.
Yeah, no, it is a cute, definitely, it's a cute little house
No,
and
I'm just saying,
property,
it's nice
so
that neighbors come out to
Right.
say something yes instead of no.
may surprise you. Okay, we've closed the public hearing, so somebody want to offer
Oh,
a
no, no, we
resolution?
haven't, we were going to make a motion, we didn't vote on the motion. So
Motion to close,
so moved.
second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Now we can
Thank
add
you.
the language.
Aziz keeps me honest. So,
Mary, you want to go?
Oh, sure. This is appeal number 3802, Stephen E. Conklin, looking for a 4-foot sideline variance for an existing 8-foot by 10-foot shed, which is located in front of the dwelling pursuant to Section 194-107B2 of the zoning ordinance at 7 Larchmont Drive in Hopewell Junction. Resolution offered by zoning board member Mary Seminara. Whereas the applicant has applied for a 4-foot sideline variance for an existing 8-foot by 10-foot shed, which is located in front of the dwelling pursuant to Section 194-107B2 of the zoning ordinance, and whereas this action is a Type 2 action under seeker and no further action is required, and whereas the legal notice was published in the Southern Dutchess News on August 31st, 2016, and whereas the Zoning Board of Appeals held a public hearing on September 12th, 2016, and whereas the Zoning Board of Appeals finds that the granting of the variance will not produce an undesirable change in the character of the neighborhood or be a detriment to the community, as it is approximately 80 feet in front of the front property line shielded by a stockade fence, and the applicant has agreed to plant shrubs in front of the fence in order to soften the look of it. The desired result cannot be achieved by some other means. The shed has been there for over 25 years. The applicant is selling the home, and the prospective buyers want the shed. The variance requested is not substantial. The proposed area variance will not have an adverse effect or impact on the physical or environmental conditions in the neighborhood.
You want to add the language in here?
let her do the first.
Okay, okay.
Go ahead.
first.
Now therefore be it resolved that the zoning board of appeals hereby approves the request by Stephen E. Conklin, 7 Larchmont Drive, Hopewell Junction, for a 4-foot sideline variance for an existing 8-foot by 10-foot shed, which is located in front of the dwelling pursuant to Section 194-107B2 of the zoning ordinance.
The existing
The
well
existing
house.
well house in front of the house will be
Moved?
moved, removed, or a variance applied for by December 31st, 2016.
Okay,
Be it further resolved that within 5 business days of the adoption of this resolution, the chair or other duly authorized member of the zoning board.
Canvas.
oh, thank
Yeah.
you.
Wait, we got,
Yeah, you just need to add that.
There's a canvas structure that has to be removed.
okay.
I mean, when.
That has to be
To
removed.
put wishing well in canvas structure.
Well, they can't apply for a variance for a canvas structure.
Yeah, so the canvas
So-
will be removed,
know.
I mean,
So additionally,
Or remove the canvas structure.
the canvas structure
End of the month.
will be, well, it's just, we're not sure when they're like moving in or anything, so I think we got to give them 60 days.
Okay, 60 days.
Will be removed within 60 days. Okay?
Okay. Additionally, the canvas structure will be removed within 60 days. Be it further resolved that within 5 business days of the adoption of this resolution, the chair or other duly authorized member of the zoning board shall cause a copy of the resolution to be filed with the town clerk and a copy sent to the applicant/owner.
All right, is there a second?
A second.
Votes as follows: Aziz,
Aye.
Barbara,
Aye.
Mary,
Aye.
and myself, aye. So you're all set,
Okay.
all right?
Yep.
So you have, they have 60 days, so they have until November 12th for the canvas structure, and then they have until the end of the year to apply for or move or whatever they're going to do with the other thing,
Okay.
okay? But Pam will get this to them, to the Conklins, she'll get the written version to them.
You have their new address?
More upstate somewhere?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or call Pam in the next day or two, and she'll get a copy of it to you. Okay?
All right, thanks.
Have a good night.
Thank you, you too.
Okay, so that's it for our public hearings. The rest of our agenda is reviews. However, we do need to have a discussion with our attorney before this next review. We also have a very, very short executive session scheduled for the end. We're going to move that up because I think we should be able to accomplish both of them within 15 minutes. So do I have a motion to go into executive session for a discussion with our attorney?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Okay, we'll be back very shortly, folks.